All right, back again. Today I got these boots here from Parkhurst. They are a cap toe tobacco vegetan boot. Parkhurst Boot Company. Parkhurst brand. Heritage style boot. So I'm gonna talk to you about them, but first, this is just kind of an introduction part for me on these particular Parkhurst. But we're gonna start out like I always do. So today I'm smoking a Romeo Juliette. I pulled this cigar out, and I'm gonna explain to you why here. But let me just talk about it for a second. This is a very smooth cigar. It's mild to medium. Has a good flavor, tobacco-y flavor taste to it. You're not going to get any sweet tasting or anything like that. You're going to get more of a tobacco flavor taste. Let me take a pull here. You can see, man, you get plenty of smoke off of it. This is just what I call a manly man cigar. It doesn't have to have a whole bunch of spices to it. It's really a smooth to medium stick, man. I'm pairing it with some whiskey here, all right? Boom, boom, bam. It's actually Japanese whiskey. So, only reason why, and I'm gonna explain it to you when I open these shoes. So we got a smooth stick, smooth to medium, really has tobacco flavor. I don't taste like a lot of spices or anything like that. I'm not a spice cigar guy. It's not very strong, so you can smoke this in the morning if you wanted to. You should always put something on your stomach when you're smoking a stick. But I'm gonna explain to you why I pulled this one out. Same with the Japanese whiskey here. Let me just take a swig. Got to get us going. No ice, neat. So we'll start here. Parkhurst. A lot of my viewers have told me, hey man, you're always getting these stylish boots, and I have a motto that says, I like to look good. I don't go around here jumping in puddles and kicking dog shit and shoveling horse doo-doo. Which, if you like doing that, that's cool. It's not what I do. I like to look good. I like to be stylish. I like to have quality things, mix in some other things as with it. So people would tell me, like, hey man, do you do any heritage style boots? Because I do like boots now. You're like, do you do any heritage style boots? And I had a couple, and it was a Thursday boot. I'll just say their name. And they were like, that's not a heritage boot. Well, for me, it kind of was, right? It was more of a service type boot. It wasn't very stylish, but I got that, they wanted to take something like a service style and make it where you can look nice in it, which that was my lane. Well, a lot of my viewers was like, man, look, you got to get you, if you're a boot guy, which I love boots, it's like you got to have a heritage style, boot, a service type boot. I'm like, all right, well, if the Thursday wasn't the one, where'd y'all want me to go with it? And I was like, all right, well, they felt what I had wasn't truly that. And I researched it, and it really wasn't. So they were like, man, you want to try the diesel boot? You want to try something from Parkhurst? Maybe even a company was called Nix. So I researched them, and I said, you know what? I looked and I said, I'm going to try the Parkhurst. Now, people were saying, man, you got to get this diesel boot. You want to try that. And it just seemed like the more I was hearing it, it was like it was a trend. Like, if you have this boot, now you're a legit boot person. And, I'm going against all that. So I went with the Parkhurst. The original boot that I picked out, it was in Kudo. All right. It was like a grayish Kudo. And it was nice, man. It was sharp. They didn't have it. They were out of stock in my size. I'm a true 13. They didn't have it. They were out of stock. Then it was another Kudo I liked. I was like, ooh, this is nice. They didn't have that. And what I liked about the Kudo was I liked that the shoes were going to be different because the leather didn't match. This one might have more nicks and scars in it. And then I liked the fact it was from Africa, an animal, da da da. And I got into that. They didn't have not one. I'm sitting there like, man, what am I doing? Right? I'm going to spend $400 plus whatever. I'm like, what am I doing? Okay. So I said, okay, I'm getting a boot kind of like what I already had. So I looked through, I said, okay, they want me to get a heritage style boot. I'm going to get a heritage style boot. So I picked these out, cap toe, tobacco color, vegetan. And I said, okay, we're going to do this. Their proprietary lug sole, right? And I'm like, okay, we're going to do this, man. And I was looking for a stitch down one. But this one's Goodyear welt. It has a storm welt to it. So we'll get into that a little bit. But let's get through this part. I didn't like them when I saw them online because they look like clown boots. The toe looked extra big. The spring on it, I don't know if you can pick it up on camera. It was a big spring on the toe. That means so when you walk, it's easier to spring off when you walk, like so. And I'm like, man, these things look like clown boots. I'm gonna look like Clarabelle wearing this stuff. My viewers want me to wear it. I'm like, oh man. So look, let me take a little pull here. All right. So I was like, man, my viewers want me to wear it. So I'm sitting there like, okay, this is the kind of stuff they like. So I'm gonna get it. So I picked these, and it really was not my style that I would normally wear. Mine is a little bit more non-heritage, okay? We stylish and looking good. So these look like it was old school steel toe, which they're not. It looked like Clarabelle, like a clown boot. And I already, I wear a 13. To me, I think that's average, but people say, nah, man, that's big. And then when I, look on when I was ordering shoes all the time, 13 was the last stop. It was nothing else after that. So anyway, I got them. So they came fairly quick. I've been doing shoes from out the country, and I got to wait, 2-3 weeks to get it. And I truly miss shoe stores, but it is what it is. So before I bought it, man, I researched it. I looked on it. I read everything about it. I'm going to talk about that in my next part. I actually talked to the owner, Andrew. I believe that was his name, Andrew. Anyway, man, this man was full of knowledge. And then talking to him, I could hear the passion that he had for designing these boots. And I talked, and he said, man, you might want to stick with a 645 last. And I was like, okay. So I said, we're going to do this. So I got the tobacco over the mahogany. The one thing I don't like, and I see people do it, they'll have like 4 or 5 pair or 10 pair of the same type boot, same color. So I always try to go kind of like something different. In mahogany, I have a lot of dark leather. So I just got this. Now, we'll talk about later. So anyway, this came, It didn't have your traditional shoe box where you take it out and open the box, and you guys look at my unboxing. I do my unboxing different. I don't sit there and show the box. Look, man, we over 40, we got money. Nobody care about the box. Just look at how I unboxed it. But let me explain to you what happened. The reason why I picked this stick and even that whiskey. I opened the box, man, and it took me to my childhood. Now, this is gonna sound weird, but it did. The shoes smelt like a baseball glove. My father, you guys heard me before, I come from a highly athletic family. I even have a family that played in the Negro Leagues, baseball. Played with Jackie Robinson, actually. So baseball was, the first sport I played, organized wise. And my father would always make sure I had a great baseball glove. It was real leather. He, show me how to break it in and massage it and take the ball and pound it. And, every day work the leather. And he had a glove, man, and this was pure leather back then. And you could smell the leather. My grandfather had a farm, so there were saddles all the time and leather straps, and we'd go out there and play with the horses and ride the horses and do all this on the saddles, and I could just smell that leather. And when I opened the box, that's where it took me. It took me to my grandfather's farm. It took me to my dad teaching me how to work a baseball glove, which I wind up teaching my own children the same thing. It took me through all those things, from grandfather to my dad to me being a dad, showing my kids how to get a good leather glove that'll last you. And I was like, wow, man. So I instantly grabbed a cigar and some whiskey. It just took me to that. Like, for some reason, this Parkhurst just said, man, you need a cigar and whiskey and sit down. And I just took them out, man, and I just looked at them, and I looked at them, and I looked at them, and I could smell that smell, and I could see, like, okay, I see what they're talking about. I felt the leather, and look at that. You can see that on there. Yeah, Vegetan, nothing, oil all in it, and you guys know vegetable tan leather is the hardest one, and usually it's more expensive because it takes longer to go. A lot of my other leather is Chrome Excel, Horine leather. It has a lot of oil in it, but the Vegetan is different. I know that. Then it made me think about my dad's glove, because his glove, over time, it was just really dark, this dark leather. And I understand Vegetan will patina and give you a good turn like that. So, normally when I open a shoe up, I want to condition it right away. I put my shoe conditioner on it to protect it and all that, because it's a different shoe. But even my viewers was like, man, when you get, a true heritage shoe, you're going to just let it patina on its own. And in my head, I'm like, man, y'all just want me to go out here and jump in some water and kick some dog shit. Well, let me tell you, when I got it, I said, I'm not doing any of that. So I grabbed me a stick, grabbed me some whiskey, and I just sat there and I set these boots on the table. And I just looked at them. Then I put them on. I was like, wow, okay. Now, a true heritage shoe like this, they just have an insole, okay? They don't have like a padded cushion and all that. So you got to have a strong foot to really wear these. And you have to break your foot in for that, which I happen to have because of the things I've done, in my past. So I was okay with that. So you guys know I'm a 2-time Image of the Year award winner photographer. I've done everything you can think of in photography and won all kind of awards. So immediately I'm like, man, I got to call my people. I need to take some pictures. I'm still reminiscing and feeling that flavor from childhood to parenthood of just the leather smell of this. So I called some friends and some models. I'm like, man, I want to do a shoot. But I had to go out of town. So I went out of town, took a tripod and just set some things up and shot. And then came back and set some things up and shot. Went over to some friend's house, have them put the shoes on and shot. Now, you guys will see some of these pictures, and a lot of them, you can tell the shoe is really too big for their foot. But I didn't care. It worked out. And I actually had fun doing that. Haven't done that in a while, but, so with that said, I'm happy I got these. Now, I gotta let them break in, and I'm gonna do a review probably in about 3 weeks after I break them in real good. But I've been wearing them, and they're slowly breaking in. They're not broken in good yet, see that? But they didn't look too clownish. When I put them on, they didn't look like a clown toe like they did in the picture online. The other issue is, well, it's not really an issue. They're not real heavy. The Thursday boot I got, it's heavier than this. It's a chucker. It's heavier than this. So I was like, wow. And then the other thing is, they don't look long, at least for me. I got some where they look really long. These don't look long. I have plenty space. Now, you guys heard me tell you, I don't have a wide foot. It's getting wider as I'm getting older, but I never had a wide foot. It's kind of a narrow foot, but I was a true 13. I can actually put my feet in and, get plenty space here, right here. And it's not pressing down on my instep like that. So I didn't have a wide, big, fat foot. It was just a long foot. I'm getting older, so it's starting to spread a little bit. So now it's starting to come like a normal foot. But these fit good. The other thing is, people, you got to know, and I'll do it another video. When you wear boots, man, I always have a wool sock, a thick wool sock I wear when I wear boots. Sometimes I wear that sock even in the summer. It's just a comfortable merino wool sock. But I think I'm going to enjoy these, man. I probably won't go out and, cut the grass and work in them. People say, well, man, you do all that and they get a patina, they look good. I probably won't do that. I have a shoe that I wear if I'm cutting grass or rocks or whatever. And it's this one. I beat it up. It's a Hycia. I did a review on this. I got that shoe for a little nothing. It felt good. I was like, I can't believe this. And I just wear that and beat that up. But I'm going to wait till it rains. I'm going to go out and take a picture in the rain with these because, like I said, I don't do the kicking puddles and jumping in dog doo-doo and all that. I don't do that. I'm definitely not kicking dog doo-doo for you guys. But I'm not going to condition. I'm going to let it patina on it. And I got a scuff here on the toe. From what I know about Vegetan, I should just be able to hit that with my thumb or finger and get the oils moving around and get them little scratch marks right out of there. Let's see. Look at that. That's the beauty of the Vegetan. I get it, people. I understand that part. I just was more of a stylish guy. I had these on in my truck. I didn't wear them in a sports car. So the size of it, in my truck, how I drive, it's kind of, roughed him up. But hey, man, we're going to see. So anyway, I'm not going to over talk it. Parkhurst, Cap Toe, Tobacco, 645 last boot. So far, I enjoy it. I even like the sole and how they got this raised up, how it's raised up off the ground. Now, I do know a lot of people talk about, well, it's real traction. Look, man, I'm older. I'm not gonna be out here trying to juke people in the snow and ice. Definitely not ice, because I don't care what you do. You hit ice, you're going down. I'm not doing all that. I do live in the Midwest, and if it gets too much snow, your man, I ain't going out. Sorry, I'm not that dude. I don't say, oh, I can't wait till it snows so I can go out and walk in 10 feet of snow. I'm not him. Not him. Never have been. So, but I'm excited, man. It has a gusseted tongue, so the tongue is connected there. So we're gonna see, man. I'm gonna wait till it rains, and I got my stuff. I'm gonna go do a selfie in the rain and see what happens, probably in the front yard or out in the street. And yeah, Parkhurst, man. Let's see. Let's see, man. I'm going to the trunk show this weekend, so probably in about 2 to 3 weeks, he should be broken in. I'm gonna come back, hit you with my total review.